In this video, we will introduce Android Setup. Now that we install and set up the Android SDK, let's set up our Eclipse environment. To integrate Android SDK with Eclipse IDE, we need to install the Eclipse ADT plugin. Let's look at a basic example. In your Eclipse IDE, go to your Workbench menu bar and select Help. Then select the Eclipse Marketplace. I'm going to type in Android and say Search. And we're going to want to install the Android Development Tools for Eclipse. The Android Development Tools, or ADT, is a plugin for the Eclipse IDE that is designed to give you a powerful integrated environment in which to build Android application. ADT extends the capabilities of Eclipse to let you quickly set up new Android projects, create an application UI, add packages based on the Android Framework API, debug your applications using the Android SDK tools, and even export signed or unsigned APK files in order to distribute your application. Developing in Eclipse with ADT is highly recommended and is the fastest way to get started. With the guided project setup it provides, as well as tools for integration, custom XML editors, and debug output pane, ADT gives us an incredible boost in developing Android applications. So once we install that, we want to make sure that the Eclipse Workbench is displaying the Android toolset. And we're going to select Window from the Workbench menu bar, and then Customize Perspective, then select Common Groups Availability, and make sure that you have Android refactorings, the SDK, and the wizards selected. Then hit OK, and that will make sure to add the Android buttons in your Workbench for you. Now we're going to create an Android virtual device. An Android virtual device, or AVD, is an emulator configuration that lets you model an actual device by defining hardware and software options to be emulated by the Android emulator. In Eclipse, we can access the Android virtual device in the Eclipse toolbar. We're going to click New in our Android Virtual Device Manager, and here's where you can set the name. You can select the device, the target, which is the one you downloaded, and that will also fill in your CPU. And it will also fill in most of these options here. Here we have the device definitions, and you can always create a new Android virtual device from one of these. Again, it's going to fill in the AVD name, the device. You can select any target that you want, and then you can just say OK. I already have two created, and this is what you should have on your screen once you've created it with a check mark between it. Now I'm going to create an Android project. In the Workbench menu bar, I'm going to select New, and I'm going to say Other. I'm going to filter to Android, and I'm going to create an Android application project. Here we can input our application name, our project name, and our package name, and this will be filled out for us. This concludes our discussion of Android setup.